the joy they had found.
Hey, this is Spoolfool here at Turbo Lou's garage today for a new product. First of all, I want to say thank you for the overwhelming support on all the bumper fillers, and that's kind of our claim to fame. Come check us out on those. Today I got a new product I wanted to talk about. This is 100% my creation, my idea, total new product doing here, and so far we've had great results and wanted to show you what it does. You should be able to use this for pretty much 80% of the Turbo Buicks out there. Or only the ones that leak oil, how's that? And we're here at Lou's shop. He just bought a Turbo Buick, and what do you know? It leaks oil, Lou. Bring that around here. Yeah, if it's not leaking oil, you might want to check the oil. The original one, if you notice, well, here's ours. It is Spoolfool, made in USA, the Drip-Lip. My daughter came up with that name. Thank you, Haley. The original one is just a dust cover, and all the oil coming from the rear main, if you can get it in there, Devin, we drip off of the starter, the rear main, tranny lines, the casting marks here. And what this does is, if you notice the rear main especially, what do you know? This thing has oil all over it. And look inside. You can see that oil inside. What ours does, we have a lip that extends forward. I'm going to set this down. Extends forward, that goes underneath the rear main, goes underneath the starter bolts, and also catches on the casting marks of the block. You notice, so when we look up here, there it is. So it captures the back of the starter. It doesn't get this little casting, I couldn't get that, but it does get the starter bolts here, and if you notice how it hugs the pan here nice and tight, because most of the oil that leaks on these engines, like it runs down to if it's the oil pan, it runs to the back, channels through there, and it drips off the back of the oil pan. Well, it catches all that. Also, this catches off of the rear main, catches the stuff off of the starter, and a couple of the things here, it captures it. We got a rag here. So you can stick a gym sock, whatever you want. This is a paper towel. A few nice things is where the crossover pipe goes through here, and the rear main and everything drips on that crossover pipe, and you get to smell that when you're sitting at a red light and you get a headache. Going through fast food, I get that all the time, and it just smells like crap. It catches that. So you shouldn't be smelling the exhaust dripping on the crossover. Also, you're not going to have it dripping on the ground. This should be a must for race cars going through tech. I don't know how long the rag will last, depending on how much you leak, how many weeks or months it'll last, but it'll get you through tech, it'll get you to a car show, you can go to someone's house, you're not going to leave oil on the ground, and you're not going to have to smell it. One thing I want to notice, a lot of times when the rear main drips into the dust cover, the flywheel does whip it and it comes out, because if you notice the outside of these covers, even if it does that and it splashes it coming out and runs down, the oil will wick in through the sides here and get to the rack. This is hand-laid fiberglass, made in the USA, Spoolfool product. You should be able to get it in and out with the crossover pipe in. I just took it off just so we can kind of show you a little better here. Fits nice and tight. Questions I know people are going to be asking me here. Will it work if I have an aftermarket transmission pan? Yes, it will, but if you look back here, the fin on the stock pan, how it notches in like this, you may have to just cut that file that lip off, or you can use some 80 grit, just knock that off, it should fit. So different trans pan. This should also fit a 700 or a 400 or a 350 pan, but you will have to modify these screw holes are a little bit out more, so you may have to put a washer into the back ones here, but it will build up to the front ones. So guys, race cars, you're running a 400, you can make this work. If you're running a girdle, and I've talked to the Boost Crew guys on this, I think they got one on a stage motor. What they had to do is trim the fin back because the oil pan's down a little more. They were able to make it work and said they were able to catch 90% of the drips coming off, because I know girdles leak like a sieve, so that's pretty exciting. But like I said, new product, Spoolfool, coming out right now. So here we go. Get a hold of our site, spoolfoolproductions.com, and see our other stuff. We've got more new stuff coming out. I want to thank everybody. Thank turbobuick.com for having us, hosting us, and please Give your feedback on this. There are other ways of doing this. If you want to, I just put paper towels in here because it's what I had and it's cheap. If you want to stick a gym sock or there's those oil absorbent pads, that works too. I want to hear feedback, what it worked on, what it didn't work on. And I know the questions people are going to be asking me, what else will it work on? What else? And we are looking at other cars these will do. I've got a 700 R4 in my Chevy pickup truck, but it won't work because the starter's different, whatever. Even though it bolts up to the transmission, it won't work. So we're looking at other stuff. Coming soon, we'll get back to you on that.